Hey, Grow family. Hope everybody is doing well. I know it's been a while since I've done a video. I've had some of you inboxing me, asking what's going on, ready to start growing for the season. Um, for me, I just need a little bit of a break. I actually have some videos that I did during that time that I just need to get posted on various things. I do have several videos, a series coming to help those of you who are new gardeners or who need some tips for your growing season. I've had a chance really to just relax and really plan out my own garden. I have a lot of changes in my backyard for the season, some different beds and things that I'm going to be doing. So, getting that planning together for my own garden has taken quite a bit of time, actually, more time than I had expected. Um, I've had a chance to do some shopping and even some selling to keep up with my shopping habit, and just spend time with family, which I think is very important that you kind of have that downtime. The gardening season, you go so hard, and for me, I have a full time job, and in fact, it's almost midnight right now as I'm doing this video. But for those of you who know me, I'm a night owl, and so that's not very odd for me. So anyway. I have my son who is not feeling the best today. He's kind of coming down with something. He doesn't really like to take stuff, but I have a tea that I make that you can see I'm almost out of. This is my Winter Warrior tea, where it actually fights off some of the issues that he is currently dealing with. So I'm going to mix up a new batch, and I thought that this would be a nice little first video to kind of show you and talk about some of the herbs. Some of these are herbs that I grow. Some of them I source from other organic farmers. And so we're just going to go through some of those, and I'll tell you about them as I mix up my new batch of warrior tea. And so anyway, the first herb in my tea is going to be Echinacea. And Echinacea is what I would kind of call the wake up the immune system herb. It's kind of that herb that you want to take at the first sign of any problem. It's an immune booster. And it's pretty easy to grow. It's a perennial. It's pretty low maintenance, and it is the base in a lot of my teas. And so I'm gonna add some echinacea to the mix, kind of as one of my base. And from there, let's go with the mullein. And so mullein is very similar to Mucinex, kind of if you're thinking an over-the-counter type of drug. Mullein is good for helping you kind of cough things up. It is also very easy to grow. It actually grows wild. And so this is one that you can grow right in your backyard. Next, we're going to go with Tulsi, which is a form of basil. It's actually called holy basil. And it's one that gives what I'd say is like a full body support. It helps with kind of that rundown feeling that you sometimes have. It helps with just kind of calming you a little bit. It is another one that's really easy to grow. But the one thing about any of your basils is they like warm weather. So this is not one that's going to do well in any cold environment. In fact, the room I'm in right now is one that gets cold at points in time. In fact, it's showing the current temperature in here is 68, so it's not bad right now, but it gets down sometimes to the 50s, which I want for other reasons, but that is not good for Tulsi or any of my basils. And so my basils are actually growing in the house currently. I do grow Tulsi year round and Basil year round. So the next will be stinging nettle, or just called nettle. Nettle is like your multivitamin. It is it's got like iron magnesium kind of effect in it. Um, it is easy to grow. It helps rebuild nutrients. It helps with like energy recovery. And so nettle is one that you sometimes will find kind of out in the wild growing too. Let's go with lemon basil, or lemon balm. I love lemon balm. It's actually one of my favorites. And lemon balm is it is a great anti viral, antimicrobial, anti all of that. It is really good for like sore throats. It's good for kind of that tired feeling. It is also another one that's very easy to grow. It does spread though, so it is one that you'll want to make sure that you are really controlling, kind of like the mint family. The next is hibiscus, and this is just hibiscus flowers. Hibiscus is very high in vitamin C. It is kind of like your immune drink mix, so to speak. It is another one that likes warm climates. And this is one that a lot of people they don't necessarily grow this one. You'll find that a lot of people actually buy this, and but you can grow it, and this is the actual flower petals of the hibiscus flower. All right, we'll go with peppermint next, and peppermint is peppermint. It is that fresh feeling. It is going to open you up when you're kind of congested. I would compare it maybe to Vicks. That's about as close as I can get. It is great if you have a sore throat. It also helps with headaches and pressure that you may have. And so it's a good one. It's easy to grow. It's very easy to grow. In fact, peppermint and a lot of the mint family will take over in your garden bed. So you really have to be careful with it. It should go in a container so that it can grow and spread and not take over everything else. And so peppermint, spearmint's another one. All right. Next, we're going to go with thyme. And thyme really helps fight germs. It is kind of for chest and sinus. It warms and dries up the mucus for you, and it is another one that's very easy to grow. This is the same type of thyme that most people are just using in their recipes, and so this is something I put in my dressing. And thyme is one that a little bit goes a long way. So you can see I didn't put as much in there of this because you don't want it to overpower, and you just don't need a whole lot of it. Again, easy to grow. Marshmallow root would be next. Marshmallow root is great for your throat. It kind of reminds me of throat lozenges, something like that. It coats, it soothes. It's good for the lungs. It helps reduce that dry cough that you might have. And it also is a balancer of several herbs. So it's another one that a little goes a long way. So I'm not going to do too much of that. And if anybody's trying to actually make this, I can get you like some measurements for this. And the good thing about these teas is you can think about what it is that you need. I've talked to you about some of the things that these do. I could go into a little bit more detail if you want me to expound on any of them. But you figure out what you need, and your mix can be a little bit different than my mix. The mix I made for My mother-in-law and father-in-law recently, I didn't have a few of these herbs that probably could have helped their tea, but it was enough to kind of get them going and give them a little bit of support that was actually needed at the time. Trying to think of what else I'm missing here. Oh, we've got ginger root. Ginger root is warming. It's good for circulation. Um, it's going to kind of move out that stuck congestion that you have. And yeah, it's just really a good immune kind of response. Again, this one is one that if you're gonna grow it, a lot of times people grow this indoors. Um, and it's the root of the ginger plant. And so we're talking, to get this amount, you really have to grow a lot. I did not myself grow this particular one. I did source it out. And it's another one where, you know, a little goes a long way. And so we don't need a ton of that. And I think I've gotten through. I feel like I'm missing goldenrod here. Yeah, we're gonna add some goldenrod in. And again, we're talking. Do what works for you. Do what is needed for whatever ailments you're having or whatever herbs that you really like. Some of these, like your peppermint, it serves some purposes, but it also tastes good. And so, yeah, I'm just going to take this. I'm going to get it mixed up good here. Usually I do a batch about twice the size, but I only want to fill the smaller jar today. I'm not really making it for anybody else other than I'll do some. And of course, like I said, my son's coming down with something, so I'm going to try to get him to drink a little bit of this as well. And so, yeah, that's that mix. Going to get it transferred over into here. And then I think I'll come back with a part 2 video and show you how I actually use my French press and my little boiler here. And I'll make a cup of tea and put a little bit of honey in it and kind of show you what that process is like. Again, I'll have some videos coming out here soon. As you can see behind me, you can see some of my herbs that are going. I have some other herbs in the house. I have herbs in the greenhouse, but I also have a lot of empty seedling containers here because the seed season is here. So I'll be doing a lot of getting some things planted. I have some stuff that I have already gotten going, like my onions and celery, but I'm going to plant some more on video for those of you who might want to do onions from seed, celery from seed, and then we'll get into all the other kind of staples like your tomatoes and peppers and so forth. It definitely is not too late if you're in zone 6A, where I am. And really, it's not too late anywhere. It's never too late to get started. I purposely didn't start in January. I felt like some other years when I did start really early, the plants got too big indoors. And so if you know the amount of stuff I'm planting, that can get out of hand pretty quickly, especially if you don't have a place for it. Now, the good thing for me is I do have the greenhouse this year, and so I will be able to get things started here. I'm going to do a lot of it here behind me in the house. And then in March, when some people really can't take theirs outdoors, I'll actually be able to take those to the greenhouse and then start another round here in the house. And then all of those will go out in May. And so I'll be walking you through that. I'm going to do a lot of education. So learning what NPK is, learning how to mix your soil, learning soil that's good for seedlings versus soil that's not for seedlings, that's for your more mature plants. Thinking about fertilizers and when to do that, whether or not you need heat mats, how close your lights need to be, all of those sorts of things. I'll have those videos coming here soon for you. So I hope everybody has an amazing rest of their week. Like I said, it's probably after midnight at this point here now. By the time you see this video, it'll probably be scheduled to go online bright and early during the day. But like I said, I'm going to come back with a second video here right after this one, just kind of showing you what it looks like, the process of actually getting that tea going. So again, this is a very pretty mix of tea, but it also is actually pretty tasty. So again, have an amazing day. Don't forget to make this is what I call a winter warrior tea. And yeah, have a great one.